This harrowing event occurred to an acquaintance of mine during our graduate studies, nearly a decade ago. He was a quintessential tech geek who spent a significant amount of time immersed in the virtual world, traversing various corners of the internet. To preserve his anonymity, let's call him Andrew. At the age of 25, Andrew was locked in a shared custody battle for his young daughter with his ex-partner. In the throes of loneliness and ennui, Andrew would often delve into the realm of online dating platforms, seated behind his trusty laptop. Abruptly, he was met with an enticing, flashing pop-up banner that screamed, "Single? Want to mingle? Click here to find your perfect partner." Tempted by the promise, he naively followed the link. The intrusive banner swiftly vanished, replaced by a follow-up message, "Greetings, solitary soul. Are you a man or a woman? Click on the appropriate symbol." Andrew selected the male icon without hesitation. The automated response promptly questioned his preference in partners, to which he clicked on the female symbol. The final inquiry asked for his name. To safeguard his identity, Andrew typed in the pseudonym, Randall Harris. Unexpectedly, the banner transformed into an animated figure shaking its head in disapproval, almost expressing an element of derision or anger. The new banner beneath the animated figure stated, "Nice try. Your real name is Andrew Flynn. Don't think you can trick us." Fear began to creep over Andrew, escalating his anxiety, and he tried to exit the malicious website. To his mounting horror, everything on his computer was locked. His mouse wouldn't respond, the keys failed to react, and even the power button refused to shut down the system. Just as panic was setting in, his own picture appeared on the screen, held by the animated figure like a trophy. Another banner unfurled underneath, revealing his home address. A bone-chilling message followed, "We have your face, we have your address. Expect us in 20 minutes. Don't bother hiding or calling for help, it's pointless. She's quite eager to meet you." Letting out a horrified yell, Andrew flung his laptop onto the floor, the screen promptly blacking out. He tried to use his cell phone for help, but it was rendered useless. Without a landline, his only recourse was to arm himself. His weapon of choice was an old baseball bat he had lying around. No sooner had he armed himself than his doorbell rang ominously. First once, then twice. A woman's voice, eerily pleasant, echoed through the door, "Hello, Andrew. I've come to meet you. Please, open the door." Curiosity mingling with fear, Andrew stole a glance at her through a nearby window. She was clothed in an aged, midnight blue dress reminiscent of a bygone era's prom gown. Her long, unkempt dark hair hung loosely, and an unhealthy thinness emphasized her protruding ribs. Her eyes were devoid of emotion, bloodshot and rimmed with dark circles that her smudged mascara and eyeliner could hardly mask. Her lips were stained a deep crimson, the lipstick smeared onto her cheeks, and her overall appearance suggested severe sleep deprivation. "I know you're there," she drawled out ominously. When he dared to look again, he noticed a large meat cleaver in her left hand, its blade stained and ominous. She began to knock against the door with the cleaver, the sound echoing in the quiet night. "Open up, Andrew. Didn't you say you wanted to meet?" Suddenly, a neighbor's dog started barking, its loud, warning growls seizing the woman's attention. With a smug smirk, she sauntered off towards the barking, leaving Andrew to duck beneath his kitchen table. With trembling hands, he tried his cell phone again, and to his relief, it was working. Just as he dialed 911, the dog's barks were abruptly replaced by a horrifying yelp, followed by a chilling thud. The once vocal dog fell eerily silent, but the chopping sounds persisted. Still on the line with emergency services, Andrew could hear footsteps approaching his door again. The doorbell rang once before the footsteps retreated hastily. The dispatcher assured him that the police were on their way and to open the door at a specific code word. The agonizing 10 minutes that followed felt like an eternity. After hearing the agreed-upon code word, Andrew cautiously opened the door. What met his eyes was a scene straight from a horror film. His neighbor's German shepherd lay lifeless on his porch, its form mutilated beyond recognition. Carved into its fur was a chilling message: "Next time, I'll meet you." Despite exhaustive efforts, the mystery woman was never found, and the sinister website disappeared without a trace. Plagued by guilt and fear, Andrew replaced his neighbor's lost dog and moved to a new city. Although he eventually found love again, the haunting memory of that fateful night lingered. He often mused about how his wisdom in not opening the door for the deranged woman in the prom dress had potentially saved his life. I find myself relieved that he was smart enough not to open the door. Yet, the thought nags me, were there others who weren't as fortunate when faced with the menacing prom queen wielding a meat cleaver? A part of me is afraid to find out.